What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to show you my design for the Daily UI Design Challenge Day 4. So the task was to create a calculator. So you can make it scientific, you can make it super advanced, but I decided to go with a typical general calculator. And let me just tell you, before I got into this looked pretty simple to make. But then when I decided to design it, it was a lot more difficult than I expected, which I'll share with you in just a second. But in case this is your first time on my channel, I'm essentially documenting myself learning about UX UI design going from the bottom up, because I feel like nobody has done that on YouTube that I could find. So if you are interested in following me along this journey, then go down below and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get into my design. So ideally, I pretty much replicated the iPhone. So I have iPhone 8 and I replicated that design, because when I did look at inspirational designs on Google and whatnot, other people, they all had almost like 99% of them had the exact same rectangle calculator shape, where just all square rectangle style design. And I was like, everyone just straight up copied with like a different color, right? So I looked at Apple and I was like, wow, they have circles, and I wonder why. So actually, the hardest part is making this part right here. So you might think it's simple, but if you're just starting like me, it's not as easy, at least from my experience. And also, I don't feel like I'm at the point where I can just make tutorials yet, so I'm not going to be making these things from scratch. So if you did want me to show you what I did, I can do that in future videos, but for the sake of this one, I'm just doing like a documentary type thing where I just talk over my designs, like my thought process. But let me show you what I ran into. So check this out. This is the iPhone 8 Plus. All right, this is a phone that I can actually physically see in my hand and see what a calculator looks like. And I can understand how they made the design for the calculator. So let me check really quick and just double check. Yeah, so ideally, the buttons are pretty much, very close to the bottom like this. iPhone 11, if I were to replicate that same style, has this massive open space, like this extra like half inch of just random space. And I was like, what do I do with this? I didn't know how to make the spacing. And then I ended up just improvising, and this took me a while to figure out first what to do. So what I did is I ended up raising it up a few pixels, and then I just put the little thing at the bottom. I'm not sure if that is shows on the iPhone 11 or the 10, but I just added that just for the sake of it, because I really didn't know what the visual looked like. And if I go to like YouTube or Google, there's like no one just randomly making a video of them using the iPhone 11 or 10's calculator. So this is what I had to base it off here, and that's why it took me so long, because I trying to do the math on like how to make the spacing perfect, since it's 375. It's odd, and then you go to here. This one's even with 14. So as the ideal, you can make even spacing, but for this one, it was like a pixel off. I can't remember exactly, but it took me a minute to figure it out. But going through here, there's the different colors. I mean, it's pretty much very similar to the iPhone, except these are different colors right here for like the subtract, minus, plus, and then the typical buttons up on top, and then you have the numbers. And basically, if you're very beginner, to make the 0 down here is literally just a rectangle, and then you obviously want to even out the lining, and then I think I put like, you just round it up, boom, there you go, you're done like that. And then just type in the text. And then I wanted to get a little more fancy, so I basically duplicated it, changed up the colors, added some like shadows to make it look more like pop out. This is like a really darkish type blue. It's not black, it's like darkish blue. And then pretty much the it's a linear gradient. And I think let me check if I can find kind of, I like to call this like the ice theme. And let's see if I can see. I don't know if I can find. Yeah, here's the image. So basically, it's an image. If I zoom, I'm not zoom out. If I 100 opacity, it's like this icicle stuff. And then I just changed it to 25, so you can kind of see it. And that's pretty much the design. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too difficult if you know what you're doing. Just a bunch of circles, but the spacing part took me a while to figure it out. So if you have any tips on like making spacing for things that are odd like this, definitely let me know in the comments below. But aside from that, this is my design for today. So if you enjoyed this, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.